everything seemed to go smooth last night. We had a few little issues with electioneering at the 2 poll places, but nothing, no major problems.
Good.
So, the others were handled verbally. There's some reports done on them. We can forward those to the county attorney if need be. So.
Okay.
Thank you for being there, by the way. Thank you so much, because that really did help.
Yeah.
A lot.
And it was, you know, it's gonna be hard to believe, or hard to tell whether they were intentional or not. It was mostly clothing, it was mostly vehicles that had flags hanging on them, that type of thing, and they were within the 150-foot boundary,
Wow.
obviously. So, nobody actually out, you know, campaigning within the 150-foot radius. It was just,
Marta checked mine out the other day.
yeah, I'm
Take
sure.
my sunglasses off, I just had an American flag on, so.
With salsa?
She did.
I did, yeah.
Take your glasses off, what's on your hat? I'm like, oh shit.
So that's it on that end of it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Mark?
I don't know everything specific other than we're 60 days out from closeout on CARES Act, unless we get the extension. So
Yeah, we haven't heard anything.
just out of curiosity, not that it's my problem to track all this, but just out of curiosity, has there been any projects or initiatives that you all have done? We talked early on about the potential of Bragg getting some money to help with rent if there was a need and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, they got a bunch of money.
They actually got their own allocation, so they got quite a bit.
Well, I knew that they had, and in fact, early on, they helped us out before we got some of our initial stuff, but in subsequent discussions with them, there had been some things, the potential of helping with rent, depending upon the needs. I just don't know if there's been a draw or a demand on that.
Wow.
Or mortgage stuff. They had another separate 501c3 element that would be able to use money to help people with mortgages.
I know it was talked about, but I don't really know where that ended
I
up.
don't think it
Okay.
really ended up.
Not been any
But
request for any of that.
Yeah, they've got a lot
Yeah.
further
They've
date
got 2 years.
out.
We did talk about it in our human services meeting, and Cache County is looking at putting some money into it, and possibly Logan City as well, because
Yeah.
Logan got their own direct allocation, and they would be able to help with mortgage.
So I was part of that grassroots group that was kind of discussing and looking at that stuff initially, and but I haven't heard that there's been that much of a demand in our county. But anyway, I was just curious if just kind of getting a pulse on that. I haven't
I think we're
heard anything
still
else.
about if there's any left over, sending it to them to implement, right?
Well, the problem is, if we send it to them, I think they still have since it's coming from us and it's CARES Act, they fall under the 12/31 deadline. If we give it to them.
Better ask that question, because that's maybe you, send that stuff to them, because then
That's what we were talking about, the CJC.
that needed been met, so.
Yeah, I mean, we can swap them if they're willing. We could give them some, they could spend it before the end of the year, and then they could keep some for our needs.
I
But
think they've got an election thing going on right now, their problem, so I would imagine one way or another, they'll have an extension.
Well, I've been coordinating with here's my gray hair Cotter Tom for on things, but just gray hair moment. But anyway, we've been able to do quite a bit of stuff through my office on just preparedness, alternate care site stuff. Just stuff that we would normally not have if things go real goofy, that we can goofier, yeah.
That's a good word.
All which has dual use, multi-use capabilities as well, so.
And I think that's good.
Okay. All right, anything else? Okay. Appreciate you being here. I'll skip back here before I come up to Jenica. Scott, what you got?
Just have the 2 items on tonight's agenda. We've got a subdivision and a ordinance for a rezone.
Okay.
Questions on either of those?
I don't have any, do you guys?
That was on the, no, it's blow molding, right?
Yeah, it was the last planning commission meeting.
Yep, okay.
Okay. Alrighty, Jenica,
I just have the retirement incentive on the agenda, and then I'm looking for direction on mass. Continue as is, change something, just need direction.
What I'm hearing is
South?
masks if you're in public, unless you can socially distance. So in a situation like this, I usually try to wear one in, and if I'm not on top of somebody else, I'll just take it off. But
So I haven't seen a mandate or a mask required thing or anything like that. It's usually with private businesses and things.
Right, so the emails and phone calls I'm getting are based on the public health directive that came out from the governor's office. Because as you go down and you get to high, it says mask required. And I don't think everybody understands exactly what that means. And then I guess there's an article in the news journal today that says that if you're inside, they're required. So, but that's kind of the approach I've been taking is if you're inside and socially distant, then they're not required.
That's been
And that's what I've been advising
That's
people
why-
to do.
That was my understanding as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll probably send something out just to clarify that says, hey, here's what we think, you're more than welcome to wear one any other time, but here's what's required. Now, if you can't be socially distant, like our open enrollment is tomorrow, we fully intend to come down and separate chairs 6 feet apart tomorrow so that everyone can come to the meeting safely.
Yeah,
So,
okay, good.
hey, that's helpful, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
See if things change.
Marla, do you have anything? You haven't been doing anything lately, have you?
No, just a smidge of nothing.
Tell us
We're
about-
going to have a record-breaking turnout, I can tell you that right now. We're probably gonna be somewhere around the 90 percentile.
Wow.
We still have about 10,500 ballots to count. And we're already at 57% right now there, so, we're just under 30,000 voters and more than 27,000 will probably have voted. So that's pretty awesome. My crew has been amazing. They're very tired though, and we still have a lot to go.
Yeah,
But they've done a great job, and I do really appreciate the sheriff's office. That helped ease the burdens and feelings on my poll workers yesterday, so that
Yeah.
was good.
good deal.
You got a closed session for that?
Anything else?
I don't have anything, can't think of anything
Okay,
right now.
all righty.
If anybody needs a paper agenda for tonight, I've got some.
Steve, you're just in time. We're right to you right now. You got anything?
No, unless you have any questions for me about something on the agenda. I don't have anything.
No, I don't. Good. Anything for him?
yeah, I just pulled up the latest and greatest. It says wearing winter masks required. Masks are required for counties in the high level, which we now are, in public indoor settings and outdoors when physical distancing is not feasible. For businesses, this includes both employees and patrons. So there you have it.
We're breaking the law.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you put the comma. I've seen it put both places. Because is it saying you can't social distance both places or just outside?
That was a,
Because we've debated that at length in my office. Because you could read that.
Oh.
Imagine the attorneys
Yeah.
debating where the comma went.
You could
that's an excellent point.
You can read that to mean all the time inside or
See, that's
inside
why-
when you can't social.
Masks are required for counties in the high level in public indoor settings and outdoors when physical distancing is not possible.
That way,
That's
that's,
what
Ah,
but if there's a comma in a different spot, and I've seen it printed.
there's no
both ways.
comma. Yeah, there's no comma, it's just,
If it's in a different spot, then it means it's separated, the indoors, you always have to wear masks. But if you think about it, if you could social distance, why do you need a mask?
my recommendation is be smart.
Right.
Don't be hugging and slobbering on strangers. If you're close to somebody, wear a mask. If you're not, yeah,
But if you know them really good, it's okay.
yeah, there you go.
But I can also tell you that depending on where you go, people are interpreting that both ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you go to a meeting in Brigham City, everybody has a mask on. In a room this size, there's only like 4 chairs. So that's one way to interpret it. So I would defer to the health department representative to tell us how to interpret that.
where's he at? Where's he at?
Let's talk to the state health department.
Let's not.
No, let's not do that. So. Just be smart.
Did I say that? Okay.
So you're telling me I gotta go to my car and get my mask?
You guys are super.
Well-
Here, this one hasn't been.
You, comment? You a comment?
I mean,
Yeah.
Hey,
if that's how it's interpreted, I've got a mask with me. I've got no problem with it.
Stan,
Mine's out in the car.
just soak one of those Kleenexes in hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Do you have anything else, Joe?
I'm good.
Do you have anything? Okay. Okay, I don't have anything, so if we're good for, what, 4 minutes, and we'll begin our commission meeting. So, is your time to read now?
If we're doing it, I'm happy to do it.
I'm okay unless you guys aren't.
I'm going with our county attorney's comma ruling. That's an excellent point, though.
Stan suffocated because he was using a plastic bag for a mask.
So I just thought I'd swing in for the pre-session, just to answer any
Oh
questions.
my gosh,
In math, somewhere, and roll the
goodness.
Yeah, they
Wrangle them down.
do that.
Today they brought the truck and trailer.
I just caught a glimpse of my, where, I wasn't sure if it was
He does that down to Steve to sign.
Give that to Steve.
yeah, he sent the email on it, so. Waiting to find out what the results of it is. Well, I think it was reported, exposure, so.
Yeah,
So I have a true
hopefully it's that he will get tested.
when I went up to the
Whatever you'd rather have me send.
Don't wait then.
and just dumped it all up there. And there was like, and they, they're.
The cows.
Department has,
There's just two people.
and ironically, the day that they
It's
got
my fault. I was reading and trying to catch the same time.
And then you go up.
Boxing School District.
That's where your mom said he used to do strawberries.
I was up on that flagpole.
Before he takes off.
You sure do.
So when's the state coming? Because if you don't.
Hopefully soon. Yeah, she's doing the 17th, but she's hoping sooner. So
I was thinking
Colin was like the other day. and,
yeah, finally have a little dude.
Have these things be 7 days.
you need to get with you. How many times it took you? Number 11.
Hello, hey, this is Jeff. Charles, how you doing?
Yeah, and most people don't know that.
Good. Hey, sorry, I got your message. I'm getting ready to head into another meeting here, but I was gonna tell you on the vacuums, you might wanna double check the back of them. If somebody's opened up the backs and tried to put it back and they didn't clamp it tight,
Well, Jen.
it'll let air in and then it's
About the
frozen.
county, the same.
That happens sometimes, but, if there is a problem, I'll come down and check it, but I was just gonna tell you, I'm gonna text you a code for a free wash.
Is it the actors?
For letting me know, so I can
Because I know
get it.
a lot of people don't like down
Let me
low.
know if there's a problem, so.
Really?
So, yeah, check that and see, I think that might be the problem, and then I'll just text you this code as soon as we get off the phone.
So it looked like.
All right, hey, thanks. Bye.
It's just part of the fire, so nobody can get.
I'm shocked, because that's far up.
Somebody's got to get there. Really?
If it rolls out like it.
Raises
Code
it.
is
Near the
99717.
hill,
Just before lunch.
back,
And if you
on
give
east
everybody
of
their
me,
winning car
and
right
it
now,
goes into that big flat. So along the mountainside, that's his property, all the
260.
way
I
to
don't think
Eaton's,
it's ever been that close.
or like behind the.
It's 5 o'clock here, so I guess we better get started on our November 4th, 2020 County Commission meeting. Call our meeting to order, and I'll start off by giving the invocation, and then afterwards, Marla Young, our clerk, will give us lead us in the pledge. Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this opportunity we have to be able to be here and to be able to live in the land that we live in, and for our county and area that we enjoy. Father, we're grateful for the opportunity we have to be able to raise our families here in the good area that it is and the good people that are here. Please bless us that we might be able to remember and be able to preserve the good things about our lives that we enjoy, that we can protect those for our children and our children's children. Please guard and protect us as we go about our activities. Please bless all our fire and sheriff's department and emergency services people, that as they are in harm's way, that they can be protected as they serve the people here in our county. Father, please bless us that we might be able to make the decisions and do the things that will be pleasing unto thee and be for the best of our county as we go through these items. And again, we pray for thy blessings upon us, and we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marla. Do you guys have any future agenda items or any former agenda items you need to go over?
Don't.
Okay.
Good.
Any emergency management issues? I guess,
You just kind of went through it.
how are we on our cases?
We're sitting at 404, so we're up about tenfold over where we were in the middle of September. We were at 40 is where we kind of dropped down to, and we're up at 404 active. So we're hoping that will change, but
Do we have any like hospitalization figures or anything like that?
none that are attributed to us. They do that system-wide because a lot of the smaller counties don't have any facilities.
Okay.
And so they just look at system-wide. But the numbers that I've seen were still okay, but it's starting to push up against the number of beds, and so that's a big concern.
The only two that they've had from the Tremont Hospital, actually were a couple from Texas that were driving through that were taken out of there. I don't know about Brigham City Hospital, but,
Yeah.
so we actually haven't had anybody else transfer to a hospital from Tremont at all. So I don't know about Brigham.
Yeah, most of ours, if they have had to be hospitalized, been in Ogden, is where they've taken them, so.
See, my last understanding is, yeah, they were going to Ogden from Brigham, so. Okay. Looks like, I think we got the email on the skipping the 505. That's gonna be on our, meeting on the 17th. I think she was not able to be here.
Okay.
She's quarantined. So, looks like we've got, the, interlocal agreement. Paul, you're up.
All right.
Come on up and
Thank you.
state your name and tell us what's going on.
Okay. Paul Larson with Brigham City. I'm here tonight to discuss a interlocal agreement with the Brigham City Redevelopment Agency. I think you've got a copy of that in your packets. I have some maps I can hand out for you to give you a little reference for this. Some background for this project area: it was actually created in 2009, but has not had a budget adopted. We're at a point now where we're ready to start pursuing some projects in this area. If you look at the drawing, you'll see 1100 South kind of left to right across the middle of the drawing. There's a red boundary that's in Brigham City, and there's a blue boundary that's in Perry City. The crosshatched areas, both in red and in blue, are areas that are excluded from the project area because they're already developed at the time the project area was put together. And so we are here tonight. So this interlocal agreement would affect the Brigham City part of the project area. I don't want to speak for Perry, but I believe they will be approaching you before too long, probably about the Perry portion of the project area.
I just was curious,
Yes.
Paul, on the map here, they're showing some of these parcels like that, and I'm trying to figure out why one's not blocked off, because in front of Walmart, we've got all that developed along there, but yet there's,
Yeah,
Showing a vacancy.
there's only one there's one parcel in front of Walmart that is not blocked off. At the time the project area was put together, it was
Okay.
not developed.
Yeah.
Now, those
That
areas,
was the
those
one-
portions that
yeah.
have been developed would not be part of the base
Okay.
for this budget.
okay,
So it's a fairly standard interlocal agreement for tax increment. And what we're proposing is a 70% participation level. That's the level that we're proposing to all of the taxing entities. So what that means is that 30% of the tax increment generated would come to the taxing entity. The other 70% would be put back into primarily infrastructure in this project area. And I can give, I don't know if you have questions about the types of projects or
Is this where
infrastructure we're looking at.
Brigham Crossing,
Brigham Crossing is one of those, and I
Okay.
have a drawing I can give you tonight that we actually have this on our agenda tomorrow night, development agreement with Brigham Crossing. This gives you a little bit of an idea of what will be developed in that far western part of the project area. There's infrastructure in there that would be reimbursed through the tax increment. There's also infrastructure in other parts of the project area. One example is a road that will eventually connect Highway 89 to 450 West. And we anticipate that tax increment would be one of the ways of helping fund that road, so.
so did we asked this question the other night, did UTA end up buying it in Brigham?
I believe they have, yes, the purple that you
Okay.
see on this drawing
What I
was
think it
acquired
is,
by UTA,
That's what I was,
yeah,
okay.
yes.
We were just asking that the other night, to see if it was in Perry or Brigham, so
Yeah.
that answers our
It's in
question.
Brigham City, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
The term on this was 20 years, it looked like,
Right.
or it was a max, well, December 31st, 2044, so
That would be the
Almost
farthest
24
end,
years.
so, yeah.
is there a cap?
There's a.
I didn't see a cap.
Yeah, there's no cap. It would be limited to 20-year project area life, and I believe it anticipates that we would have 3 years in which to trigger the tax increment. So, and then tax increment would run 20 years from when it's triggered, but no longer than that 2020, or excuse me,
This isn't in an opportunity zone either, is it?
no,
Okay,
no, this is. on
just
the
your North Brigham's
west
an
side.
opportunity
Right.
zone, okay.
And it doesn't qualify as a transit zone either, because we don't have
Not yet.
transit yet, so,
Maybe after I'm long dead,
okay.
which hopefully is a good long.
Now, on here, if I remember right, there was something that if the money goes into the CDA and it's not used for infrastructure, that it would be kicked back out to the tax entities.
In,
Is that correct?
I don't believe so. That may be a part of a different type of project area.
Okay.
We anticipate that the lion's share of the increment here would be used for infrastructure. We do want the ability, if there's a unique situation, to use it for other purposes, whether it's land acquisition or preparation, but that's not our anticipation.
Okay.
I think there is a provision similar to that, though, Commissioner. Talks about return of tax increment to the taxing entity,
Yeah, they're number 3.
Number 3, let's look.
under 3.
Paul, this is maybe getting off in the weeds too, and it's maybe a discussion for another time, but I'm just curious because on this one, obviously this Brigham City's gonna basically own the road or take care of the road there.
Right.
But I know just to the east, that's owned privately, and how are they gonna tie that in, and how do you know how that's
Is that
gonna?
the connecting road?
Well, yeah, the 1150 south.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna take some land acquisitions over time, yeah. And it's actually it's cooperative between Brigham City and Perry, because a good part of it's in Perry as well. There's, some of that land is state-owned, but it does get over into some private areas as well.
But that road, I think it's all in Brigham, so the frontage road that runs along in front of Walmart's parking lot,
Yes.
that's
yeah,
very narrow.
Right, right.
That everybody runs
Right.
into each other when they're pulling in and out. I'm just wondering, like, because I know that's privately owned,
Right.
and how they're gonna tie that in, or is the city eventually
Yeah,
gonna end
the
up
plan
taking that
is,
over?
if you look on the Brigham Crossing, it's not easy to see, but over to the right of 1100 West, you'll see a little spot where there's a trace of a road that ties in.
Mhm.
That's where we anticipate that road would eventually connect into 1100 West, and then that would create the connection to both
Okay,
Commerce Way and 1100 West.
okay. Cool, I'm excited. I think this is good.
Yeah, we think I think we've reached a point where some things are gonna start to happen out there.
Hope so, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions?
I think, I had a couple, but I think they've been answered. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to attach a copy of these maps to the agreement so that
Yeah,
everybody
we could
knows-
do that, add those as an attachment.
knows what's covered.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then, I think you talked about the 70%, that caught my attention, I wasn't sure where the 70% came from. I don't know if that's standard or, but I
It's
think-
kind of
Yeah,
whatever
there's no real, I mean, that's,
it's not standard.
yeah, it's dependent on individual interlocal agreements, but that is the amount that we're pursuing with each of the agreements.
And then I did stumble on a typo, paragraph E.
Okay.
It's referring to Utah Code subparagraph 60, 17C1, 10260. Because of a recent amendment, it should be 61.
Okay, good catch.
I think that was it.
I can get an electronic copy and get that correction made and get it over to Marla.
And all these future roads are on what we talked about the other day with Wasatch Front Regional. It's on there.
Some of them are not regionally important enough to get onto their plan, but portions of this.
But the
yes.
one hooking onto 89 should be.
Yeah, and especially, I think when Perry comes, they're probably gonna be talking to you about the connection of 2400 West to 1100 West. Someday, maybe we'll get those grids to agree with each other, but, and I think that's part of what they plan to use their
Okay.
project area for.
All right.
Okay. All right. If there's no other questions, why, I'd entertain a motion.
Jeffrey's still looking it up.
Think so?
No, it's just, yeah. Let's see, 2048. I'd make a motion that we approve interlocal agreement 20-48.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
And I
Yeah, thanks,
will,
Paul.
I'll get would I go to Marla, the electronic copy?
Yeah.
I'll make those attachments and that correction.
And I do have a, we have to pass a resolution because it's an interlocal agreement. I do have that prepared too. I can get you,
All right.
I don't know how you want to pass that.
Probably right now too.
It doesn't have a number or anything on it.
I can tell you that number real quick.
What do you want to call it? Resolution? Just the,
Resolution authorizing interlocal,
Okay.
what's the name of
Interlocal
the
agreement.
agreement is? Authorizing interlocal agreement, unless it has a number.
okay.
I thought it would be quick.
Paul, you said you've had some interest or some, on that corner lot
On
on 11,
which one?
on 1100 West on 1100 South?
Yeah, we've had, I can't disclose anything. but
Sure.
We have had a couple of inquiries about that.
That's great. That's,
Yeah.
when I heard that, I was like, good, finally some things
Yeah,
are
that
happening.
intersection project, I think helped prime the pump for some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your resolution's gonna be 20-16.
20-16. I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 20-16.
I'll second that.
For the interlocal agreement.
For the interlocal agreement.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.
Growth is coming.
Okay, yep,
That's good news.
yeah, but I got some questions. But here's, this is the place for it, so. Okay, Jenica, you're up.
All right, I'm just coming before you to ask that you allow us to renew our retirement incentive for this year. Just some statistics over the last few years. So we've done this program for several years now. In 2018, the program saved us $61,778. In 2019, we saved $74,609. And for 2020, we saved $76,044. So that's a total of about $212,000 over 3 years.
How much was it in 2020?
76,044.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's beneficial for the employee, kind of helps give them an additional reason, and then
Mhm.
it's beneficial to the county in multiple ways also.
That's awesome.
So just so you know, there are 20 eligible employees this year, and the estimate, if they all took the incentive, would be $351,363.84 in savings.
Savings.
So,
We've usually had 20 to 25% of the folks that have been eligible take it.
yeah, I think
Okay.
we had 4 or 5 last year take it.
Have you gotten any preliminary requests or?
I have a couple that are looking at it.
Okay.
They were just waiting to hear if you were gonna do this or not, so.
Well, it makes a ton of sense. It's definitely a savings for the county, and I really don't see a downside.
Yeah, as long as it makes fiscal sense, I
Yeah.
don't see a reason not to do it.
Cool.
Yep.
Do we need a formal motion on that? Have we done it in the past?
Yeah.
I think we have. I'd make a motion that we approve the retirement incentive for 2021 as outlined.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenica.
Thanks, Jenica.
Okay, Scott Lyons. You're up. Feel like a game show host. Come on down.
All right. I think the first item is the subdivision, is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay, it is the Hadley Acres subdivision. It's located at 4156 North, 6800 West. It is 20,000 square feet in size. It's in a half-acre zone, so that's meets the zoning requirements for the area. The subdivision has been reviewed and approved by all applicable departments and comes with a recommendation of approval.
I'll make a motion unless you guys got any other questions. Sorry, I jumped on the gun there.
I don't.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the Hadley Acres subdivision, one lot.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, second item is ordinance number 522. This is a text amendment, amending section 3-4-070, regulations for specific uses in the commercial and manufacturing chapter of the County Land Use and Development Code. So what was requested by a landowner is that let's see the exact language, injection and blow molding be allowed in the commercial enterprise zone. The commercial enterprise zone is what we would consider our second most intense zone. So we have a general industrial or manufacturing zone, which is considered our most intense zone. So this use, the injection and blow molding is proposed to be allowed in both the commercial enterprise zone as well as the general manufacturing or general industrial zone. This went before the Planning Commission at their meeting on October 22nd. Public hearing was held with no opposition, and the Planning Commission forwarded a recommendation of approval.
Is this going to a specific purpose, or is it just something
So the landowner who requested the change, he owns a large warehouse in the South Willard area. Are you familiar with Price Container?
Mhm.
Yep.
So he owns Price Container. He's outgrown that area, and is looking to move somewhere else. Anyway, one of his suppliers is in California, and they're looking to expand this way.
Oh.
So he's looking at
trying to find
I don't,
something?
yeah,
Co-oping.
he's gonna lease or buy the facility and wants to operate his.
Okay, I was
yeah,
just wondering, it's
He
something
creates
kind of
plastic,
specific.
yeah, so he creates plastic containers, and this would allow him to do it at that location.
Yeah, I bought all my ice melt containers from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you guys have any other questions, or I'd entertain a motion.
No, I'd make a motion that we approve the text amendment of Land Use Code Ordinance 522.
Second?
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you want to sign those now, or?
Sure. Just that one.
Do you have your notary? No. Okay, I'll just send that with you. Okay, thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Scott. Okay. Looks like Stan, you're up.
Yeah, come to our attention, 6-8 weeks ago, that we were trying to get this easement put together between Sitla and Box Elder County for the construction and parking lot of a staging area and restroom facility out by the Devil's Playground, so, I don't think, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that besides just,
I think I sent everybody an email on,
Yeah.
there was really no concern, just things to notice. I did get something back from Chad. We were gonna have Chad check the legal description.
right?
He sent me an email today saying that it does not close, and so it probably needs to be fixed,
It does not close.
the perimeter.
Oh,
It doesn't close.
Oh,
maybe we just want to leave it open.
depends on who you want in.
I can read the email here. Let me-
I can forward that on to the state, but I'm like going, I can't imagine why.
We probably should forward the email on to the state, because we had to check it to be sure it was in
Yeah.
the right area. And let me find his email here. Maybe.
This was basically brought to us by Plea. It's a off-road group that's out of Ogden that could see the need, just kind of like the Devil's Playground, and so
What's their name?
Plea, don't ask me what it stands
I
for.
thought you said flee at first.
Acronyms,
Flee?
Public lands, something, I'm assuming.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, he says here, he looked at it, had it drawn up by Tyson. The description does not close by 4.35 feet. We usually will accept a misclosure if it is approximately a half a foot or less. This is a huge misclosure, and we would recommend that the description be fixed.
Okay,
So if somebody just messed up on the,
description. Okay,
it's in the right area, it just doesn't close.
all right. Well, seeing that problem, I would make a motion that we approve this pending
That being fixed?
yeah, pending that being closed or being okay. So,
And the easement is,
yeah, like
20.
I said, it's just
You want-
fine, it's just 4 feet. That's
no,
not
you wanna read
closed.
the number for the easement?
Oh, yeah, 20-49, sorry.
Okay.
What's the other timeline on this?
As in getting it done?
Uh-huh.
I think they've already they went through with the state and got these last time,
The prefab
the
bathroom?
prefabs with
Okay.
everything, so I think that's already bought.
All right, very good. I'll second that motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So how do you wanna get, are you gonna let them know that? I don't have any contact, you just gave me the agreement, so I don't have any.
Yeah,
So we just need to let Chad know that we need to get that fixed?
yeah, but I
Well,
need to.
but Chad's not the one who would fix it,
Oh,
that would
No,
be
it's the state.
State?
whoever it came from.
Okay.
I'll try to remember. Will you send me a reminder tomorrow and I'll forward it on to Glenn?
Yeah, well, I'll just send you this email so you can. forward
Okay,
that to me.
and then I'll forward it to Glenn.
Okay.
You know me, these 2 email things, I still am not used to the email.
Jenica, you got those? Okay, and Tom does have an item for closed session, so.
Okay.
Personnel. Might give us an opportunity to discuss what we talked about the other day, with your other dilemma. With the shed. Okay,
I like that pen too.
Here's a good one.
yeah,
Try that
we
one.
can do that after, if we need to.
I wouldn't give it back. Wrong one.
Well, you can have that. I just looked at it anyway, so.
Mm. Yeah. That's it.
It is.
It is Marta's fault.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of
Yeah,
these
thanks a lot,
reflection
Laura.
specialists.
She figured since she was so busy, she'd try and make us busy.
Have to share the wealth here.
Sherman T. Potter's fading.
Well, Governor Herbert called election workers heroes, so, and I believe it.
He always told us we're where the rubber meets the road. So does that make us a tire? Yeah, something like that.
Tell you, they earned their keep yesterday, so.
Don't worry, because then I'll be terminating them on it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jenica.
I guess we got the warranty register.
You guys wanna start on
Oh,
those?
yeah. Oh, should have known better. You've been doing this longer than I have.
Hey,
I think
that's what
2 years because I never was up there. We started down here when I first started in
Congrats to
15.
him, that's cool.
Yeah,
He's a good dude, I like Alex.
today's my dad's birthday. Yep. He'd been 93. Yeah. No, I teased him though on his 90th birthday. I said, hey, we'll all celebrate here in another 10 years when you turn 100. He just laughed.
The arcade numbers aren't very
Really?
good.
Was you born in 30?
We've got one of the highest per one
Okay,
hundred
yeah,
thousand
one was born in 30.
counts in the state. So,
It's just Brigham City, about Shelter County, not our whole district, right? That's just Box
just
Elder
bucks
County.
on the ramp. Yeah, we're at, 583 per 100,000. Cash is higher, Carbon's higher. Davis is, Emory. Where's Utah? Utah's off the charts. They're 869.
Oh, yeah.
Make a motion, we go into a closed session to talk about personnel.
Okay.
I'm getting close to seconding that.
I'm getting close to 30ing it.
Just one that comes in,
Yep.
okay.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
I'm guessing it was one of the subdivisions.
Could have been a subdivision.
What's that?
Could have been a subdivision.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Shut the microphones off.
Okay,
I think Marta's.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second